Near the end of a little country road sits a rambling ranch house in California's Central Valley. It's the place where we gather, where family events are held, where we meet in the middle. With kids all over California, my parents' home in Clovis is the central point. And with almost 3 acres and 30 years of remodels and re-landscaping, it's just about perfect. When I was a senior in high school, my mom and dad bought this property, demolished everything but one wall, and designed from the ground up. Then they built, and built, and built. In front, the sprawling landscape is framed by wrought iron fencing and lanterns. My dad, a blacksmith in his spare time, made these and the matching details around the home, as well as the larger-than-life gates. The scrollwork, the roses, the leaves, each piece was welded together meticulously. It's really the crown jewel of the house. Out back, there's a pool with majestic waterfalls so loud they overpower the sibling rivalries during pool games. My dad had never built a pool, and as a general contractor with his own business, he thought, I could do that. And he did. 37 pool guys and 1 resurfacing later, it's the family hangout. A giant spa sits on top with a TV under a pergola. That's the adult hangout. The focal point of the property is the whimsical Playhouse. My parents wanted it to look like something in Disneyland, our once-a-year vacation spot with the whole gang when the kids were tiny. My mom drew it and my dad built it. Then my mom painted it, and my brother Ryan, the woodworker and artist behind Ironwood Outfit, decked out the interior architecture. The kids spend most of their time in there when they're not in the pool. They play shop and restaurant and eat hundreds of popsicles and display their artwork at every turn. On the back of the little house is a wooden door that opens up to the lake with a view of the orchard and grapevines. At Christmas time, the kids help Grandma Nancy hang colorful vintage lights while the ducks play in the lake. The ducks love the lake and usually lay their eggs under the grapevines. Speaking of eggs, I need to mention the chickens. So many chickens that gather around visitors with a startling resemblance to the raptors in Jurassic Park. The family calls them the girls, and Ryan appropriately made a brilliant sign that hangs over the enormous chicken coop/mansion. They built the mansion around a couple of old trees so the girls could have places to climb and play, and are safely shielded from being eaten by mysterious wildlife that roams at night. Yeah, it's happened. It's situated next to the lake, which is full October through June. I visited in July, so it's pretty empty due to the heat. Next to that is the garden where fruit and vegetables are living their best life. She's got colorful heirloom tomatoes, eggplant, a variety of squash, bell peppers, melons, and even corn. I just can't get over how alive everything is. That says something about my gardening abilities. Back to the gardens in a minute. The gazebo, which I'm fairly certain was built by all our high school boyfriends in need of a summer job, is a respite both day and night, and my husband Dave loves to work here on our visits because it's really the only place where people are not gathered. Ryan and Dad built a deck here out of Trex, so it won't fade, chip, or rot. It's pretty awesome, and I should definitely be paid for this endorsement. And Ryan is currently building the railing. Following the path out of the rose tree-lined gazebo, you'll stroll by every citrus tree imaginable, each named after one of the grandkids. Stroll a little longer and you'll meet a bridge made by Ryan for the top of the koi pond and waterfall, also built by my dad as a first-time experiment. These brightly colored fish are just as tame as the chickens. If they weren't confined to water, they'd cover you in hugs and kisses. Or eat you. Cross that bridge over the pond to enter the pergola that's completely consumed by lavender wisteria and dinner plate-sized pink roses. When in bloom, it looks like you've entered into a fairy tale. So it's completely appropriate that my mom built a tiny fairy garden under it inside a stone fountain. Again, each fairy represents one of the 11 grandchildren. Behind the pergola is Ryan's sawmill, where he keeps walnut rescued from a grove fire, redwoods killed by the California drought, and a giant tree donated by the city in exchange for some woodwork. It's the stuff of dreams for any artist, really, especially because behind that lies a mini orchard with San Joaquin summer fruit and the most beautiful fig tree you've ever seen. Those figs are worth the 4-hour drive. Now back to the gardens. There is nothing my mom can't grow, and nothing that doesn't want to live here. Her plants are happier than any human I've ever met, and why wouldn't they be? She sings to them, waters most of them by hand, and takes great care to plant each one where they'd be most content. The property is obviously the creation of artists, and like true artists, they love sharing it with people. It feels like home to all of us, and we look forward to each visit. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more Feature Fridays as I go behind the scenes into artist studios to show you how they work.